We're setting up for the most profitable and insane bull run we've ever seen because the SEC just approved a rule change to allow for Ethereum Spot ETFs. We'll walk through everything related to the Ethereum ETF and what you can expect over the next few weeks and months. We're also going to dive into my top altcoin picks that I'm betting will outperform to take advantage of the situation as an opportunity to make some serious profit and gains. My goal is to make sure that you're always prepared to take advantage of these rotations when the tides start to shift to be more risk on. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay on top of things this bull run with me. Everyone went absolutely crazy last week on May 23rd when the news broke that the SEC approved the listing of spot ETFs, but that's not the whole story. Really what has now happened is the first major hurdle was cleared to achieve a spot ETFs. And that's because if you look at this document from the SEC dated May 23rd, we can see here that they've granted accelerated approval of the proposed rule changes. And this had to do what's known as the 19B-4 forms. This basically specifies how an ETF will be traded and listed and the rules that will govern it. You can see every major institution had their forms approved. Everyone from Van Eck to ARK, Invesco, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, and quite a few more here. And Coinbase is going to be the trusted partner and custodian for many of these ETFs, similar to what we saw when Bitcoin was first approved as well. What's next? Well, these companies now need to file S1, which is the actual application for listing new securities. And I expect what we'll see is those will come and roll in over the next few weeks before really we start to see any true trading begin. While we don't have an exact date right now of when these ETFs could start trading, this could actually be bullish because it gives the market an opportunity to speculate, and we can look back at Bitcoin's price action and inflows to get kind of an idea of what we might be able to expect when these Ethereum ETFs do start trading. For us to get an idea and predict of what we could expect with an Ethereum ETF, we have the opportunity now to look back at the Bitcoin ETFs, which just happened earlier this year in January. The first thing that happened when Bitcoin Spot ETF was approved was there was this massive outflow from Grayscale's GBTC, which at the time was the deepest liquidity for holding Bitcoin. And this was mainly due to a few reasons. You had traders who were playing the NAV discount that were taking advantage of that opportunity, as well as everyone else that was looking to rotate into all these other new funds that had popped up that actually had a significantly cheaper fee. The days following the ETF approval on January 10th, we could see over the next few weeks, we saw a massive amount of outflows before it bottomed with a negative 158 million. Now, if we go look at the price of Bitcoin during that period, January 10th, which was the local top at the time, buy the rumor, sell the news, we saw this drawdown from around all the way down to around 39,000, which is about negative 17%. But following that big drawdown, when outflows started to get weaker and we started to actually see positive net inflows, taking back a look at Bitcoin's price action, we can see it actually went on a massive rally all the way up 85% to the local top of around 73,000 at the time. Now, I don't believe we're going to be able to run the exact same playbook, and that's because if we line up both Bitcoin and Ethereum's price action, we can see they coincide quite nicely as Ethereum also was able to take advantage of Bitcoin's price action and follow suit here. Now, if we were to apply the same playbook and we imagined that Ethereum would also have an independent 85% run, I mean, we would roughly be looking at around a 7,000 ETH right now. Another thing we can look at in reference to the Bitcoin ETFs is how much money actually flowed into these new ETFs, and we can see to date it's been about $38 billion. Now remember, Ethereum at $468 billion has just 1/3 of the market cap of Bitcoin, so it takes a lot less money for us to see parabolic moves to the upside, which is why we saw this massive 20% candle on the news of the SEC making these rule changes. And not only is Ethereum a smaller market cap, it's actually less liquid considering all of DeFi, big projects like EigenLayer, which has racked up almost 20 billion in TVL. It also has a significantly less issuance. We can see here from both the ETH supply and the Bitcoin supply, and of course it has its burning mechanisms. So we're looking up for a unique series of events here. We're going to have this massive inflow from these ETFs and an opportunity here with a coin that has a much smaller market cap, a lot less liquid, and has this opportunity here to have these parabolic moves. We also can take a look at ETH BTC's chart, and this is Ethereum's price action divided by Bitcoin. And we can see here since this top here in September 2022, it's been down only. It's been a terrible time to be an ETH maxi, to be an on-chain maxi, as Bitcoin has clearly just dominated the markets here. But finally, on this news, we see this massive candle, which means that on this exciting news of an Ethereum ETF, of course, people are flooding back into Ethereum and has an opportunity here to finally fight against this resistance here of the ETH BTC chart and actually hopefully start to break out. When the Ethereum ETFs start trading, the first thing I'll be tracking is Grayscale's Ethereum Trust, ticker ETH, and watching to see if there will be a large unwinding or outflows, as well as watching the new inflows to the new spot ETFs that are listed. The second thing I'll be watching is the ETH BTC chart. I'll be watching to see if ETH can break out, as well as if Bitcoin dominance start to fall as people start to go more risk on in Ethereum and the altcoins. Now let's dive into the altcoins I'm focusing on that I will believe will give us the most gains and have the most upside opportunity as we see this massive rotation back into Ethereum and on-chain season. I have this chart here. I know it looks crazy. It tracks many different cryptos across various different narratives and ecosystems. And I pinned it back to the 23rd so that we could easily see what were the top performers on kind of a lower time frame since this news first broke. And we can clearly see that a lot of big popular Ethereum projects are really taking the lead here. There's a lot of great projects here that you could bet on, but I'm going to tell you my favorite from this list, and then I'll go over a few reasons why. I'm going to be taking a look at here Ondo Finance is the leader in real world assets. We're going to be taking a look at Pepe. Of course, this is a household name at this point, a true favorite, and is a true meme OG. We're going to be looking at Athena. This is going to be a decentralized stablecoin. Pendle Finance, another leader in RWAs and a directly benefit from Eigenlayer. As well as we're going to be taking a look at Doge. Now, Doge has not performed as well, but given the rotation back into memes, as well as the recent death RIP of Kabuso, I believe this could be an opportunity for us to leverage this up. Let's start with Ondo Finance, because this has got to be one of the most exciting real world assets projects that's leading the way this bull run here. Ondo Finance is partnering with huge institutions like BlackRock to bring tokenized assets on chain. They offer two core products. One of them is the US dollar yield, right? Imagine you don't live in the United States and you live somewhere where you might have high inflation or other economic issues. This allows you to access the US dollar and go ahead and earn over a 5.2% APY, which is insane right now in these markets. They also offer US Treasury, which you can see here 24/7. You can both mint and redeem them, and this is accessible to anyone in the world. We can see here that Ondo Finance leverages BlackRock's build fund for instant settlement, moving almost $100 million back in March. And Larry Fink has been known to, of course, share his thoughts on these markets and truly believes, we can see here, that tokenization in ETFs will revolution finance, which makes Ondo best positioned here. Looking at this chart, we basically had a period of consolidation for 2 months, and we've just now started to finally break out of this into a bit of price discovery. So it might wait for a little bit of a pullback here, but on any pullbacks, I'll be loading up, and that will be the same theme across all the different alts we talk about today. Pepe is an OG meme for crypto, and when the news of the Ethereum ETF started to circulate, Pepe moved more aggressively than most altcoins here to the upside. Now Pepe is sitting at around 6 billion market cap and is trading right now in price discovery. I really am looking for a pullback here, and on any pullback, I'm going to be adding aggressively to my spot bags. Last cycle, we saw the rise of Doge and Shiba and many other meme coins. And I know a lot of people still passionate about Dogecoin, but I can be honest, I don't know a single person that honestly cares about Sheepcoin. And I am expecting Pepe to flip SHIB at some point in this cycle. Next, we're looking at Athena, which is a new stablecoin project that launched just a few months ago and has already become over 2.8 billion in TVL. Looking at all the different stablecoins, it already makes it the 4th largest stablecoin right behind DAI. The reason why I believe Athena is going to directly benefit from the Ethereum ETF is not only is their stablecoin collateralized with ETH, to keep that peg $1, for every dollar of ETH that is deposited, they open up a $1 delta neutral short hedge, which means that Athena is getting paid more aggressively to short the market as funding rates adjust into a risk on mode. This means right now they're paying this 35% APY, and I could expect this as well to continue to increase which is going to again cause more TVL for the Athena project. And I think the Athena chart looks pretty good. And if you disagree, let me know in the comments. But I think we're hopefully going to flip this, what looks like to be a resistance here. We're seeing it bounce off the EMAs nicely. We're seeing the daily chart kind of cross above the RSI midpoint and stay above it now. And so I'll be looking for this breakout here, but I'm already got my bags loaded and I'm betting on this one to take off. Next, we're going to take a look at Pendle Finance, which I believe is actually one of the most undervalued projects in all of crypto. They actually just broke into the top 10 largest DeFi projects, crossing over 6 billion in TVL. Look at the growth of this chart. We saw since 2024, they have been able to massively accumulate over 6 billion in TVL in just the last 5 months. Pendle is a yield trading marketplace and has been benefiting directly, of course, from EigenLayer, which has accumulated almost 20 billion in TVL itself. The Pendle chart can look a little wild, and that's because it had this massive parabolic move to the upside, and then it fell almost 50% in the few days following. And that's because there was a lot of confusion around how EigenLayer and Pendle were going to do their airdrop. It's all been cleared up here, and you can see here that, of course, we've seen a V-shaped recovery, and it's now basically at all-time highs territory. With this in mind, I believe the dip has already happened, and so from here, it's going to be a game of basically forced vertical accumulation. But there's no better way to get exposure, of course, to Ethereum beta than EigenLayer and the liquid restaking ecosystem, which of course Pendle benefits from it all. Finally, we're going to take a look at Dogecoin, and if you don't know, unfortunately, back on May 23rd, it was announced that Kabusu did unfortunately pass away. It seemed that he had cancer from what I was able to gather, and of course, his memory must live on with Dogecoin. Dogecoin kind of had its resurgence back in early February, topping around 0.22 cents. We can see it crest all the way back down, wick down to the 200 EMA, and it's bounced off nicely. I think if we can go ahead and flip this range here, it's going to be basically sky high all the way back up to the 22-cent range. A true OG meme, of course, the rotation back to Ethereum and on-chain, and I think this one has a lot going for it. Remember to come join the completely free community Discord. All the links are going to be in the bio. Be sure, follow me on Twitter, and if you have any questions, drop a comment below, send me a DM, but I hope you enjoy learning about the Ethereum ETF and what I'm expecting. Would love to hear your thoughts as well, especially which altcoins you're betting on. But cheers, see you in the next one.